All right. Shalom, shalom. We are the Hebrew Israelites coming to you week in and week out through the spirit and power of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, right? To prophesy the downfall of Esau, Edom, right? His rulership, man, his age. You see? And before I get started with this lesson, I want to face the east. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Barakah Badash. Next, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well and have taught me the truth. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. And again, like I say, man, it's your brother Dubar Kabash. You know, just coming out here on the highways and hedges, man, right? Camp lesson. You know, I'm in a place called, what the hell is this place called? Henrico, Virginia. You know, so here I am, man. You know, so yeah, man, you know, like I say, you know, here to prophesy the downfall of Esau, Edom, right? His rulership. You know, you got ICE agents out there, you know, arresting Jake now, man. I seen a video today why you had Eve out there, man, right, getting detained, you know, by these ICE agents, man. So it's no longer a game, right? We are in a time of Jacob's trouble. You know, the spirit's been on me heavy for the last week now, you know, to talk about it, man. Right? Jacob, matter of fact, let me start there first. All right, let's go to Jeremiah 30, man. All right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 30. And I'm going to start at the top at verse 1. And it reads, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord, right? Or like the word that came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, thus speaketh the Lord, our power of Israel, saying, write thee all the words that I have spoken unto thee in a book. You see that? What book is this talking about? It's talking about the 1611 King James Holy Bible, man. Right? That includes the Old Testament, right? The Apocrypha, and also the New Testament, man. You see? Continuing on, it reads verse 2, and it reads verse 3. It reads, for lo, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel and Judah. You see that? Who's it talking about? He's talking about the northern and the southern tribe, man. Right? Again, the two olive trees. You know? I will show my 12 tribe chart. Got it sitting right there, man. You see? Anyway, keep going. And it reads, saith the Lord, and will cause them to return to the land that I gave their fathers, and they shall possess it. See? And these are the words that the Lord spake concerning Israel and concerning Judah, right? For thus saith the Lord, we have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. You see that? And this is what you see happening here, man. Right? We're living these times right now, man. You know, a lot of people out there are afraid, you know, and it's a lot of trembling going on. But guess what? It's only going to get, this is just the beginning, man. Right? It's only going to get worse. You see from this point. It ain't going to get bad and then somehow going to turn back good. Nah, hell nah, man. You know, not according to this book. You know, it's going to get worse. Continuing on. Verse 6, and it reads, ask ye now, and see whether a man doeth travail with child. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins, as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into pains? At last, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble. Who is Jacob, man? Israel. You see? Continuing on, it reads, but he shall be saved out of it. You see that? Who is this? You know, are those that's going to be saved out of it? You know, starting with the elect, man. Right? And also the brothers and the sisters and the children, right, that believe and fear in the name of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and that trust him, man, right, that have done everything, right, to make themselves prepared, man, in these times. You see, Yahweh Rathazah, right, the Lord will protect those, right, that truly call and worship on the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, because that's the only thing that's going to protect us in these times, man. Right, you got a lot of people out there that's getting ready to go hungry. You see, a lot of people out there get ready to go hungry. A lot of people out there get ready to get detained, right? Thrown into concentration camps. Yes, man. Right? This is all Bible prophecy. You see, but if you got this wisdom and knowledge, right, Yahweh Rathazah, it's going to keep you brothers and you few sisters out there, right, stable, man. You know, and scriptures talk about that. Wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of that time. Let me grab that real quick. just gonna read it straight off my phone. All right, let's read that real fast. Wisdom and knowledge. Wisdom and knowledge. All right, will keep us stable. Not a gun, not your knife, not money. Let me see. Stable. Let's grab it. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 33, verse 6, and it reads, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times." You see it, and you know what? You see a lot of people out there, right? They're not stable, man. They're losing their damn minds out here, man. Right? Completely losing their minds because they're not stable in the head, man. I seen some video today. I was just strolling through shorts and just, you know, you had Eve. You know, Eve was about this damn close to the camera talking about some, you know, so, you know, a lot of people out there, man, are psychotic, man. You see? Anyway, let's keep going here. And strength of salvation. Here's the point. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. You see, you got to fear the Lord, man. You know, you got a lot of people out there that are in fear, right? Fear of man. Scripture tell you not to fear man, right? Which is able to only kill body, right? But fear the Lord, which is able to kill body and soul in hell, man. You see? So these are the times that we're in, right? Only wisdom and knowledge is going to keep us stable, man. Not no damn rap music. Again, you know, not your weapons. You know, you can't be carnal out here, man. You know, so you brothers and you few sisters out there, man, continue to stay in the spirit, right? Continue to call and worship the names of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai in these times, man. There's a lot of chariot sightings out there and everything. More and more chariot sightings, man. You know? But, you know, going back to the point, man, right? Come out here to prophesy the downfall, right, of Esau, Edom, right, and his rulership in these times, man. Because it's coming to a close. It is. It's coming to a straight close, man. Right? And if you're not prepared these times, or if you don't have no idea what's going on these times, right, you're also going to get caught off, man, like a thief in the night. You know, there's another scripture that tell you to gird up, matter of fact, not gird up thy loins, but put on that breastplate, right, of righteousness. You know, all of that, man, that helmet, all of it, man. You know? So, you know, again, you know, here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked-ass man's rulership. You know, I'm sitting here, I'm camped out beside McDonald's now, man. It smell like trash, man. And you still got a lot of our people in the damn line eating that nasty-ass food, you know, and we warned our people, you know, but this is the work of Esau, Edom. See, that scripture tell you that we shall eat our bread defiled amongst the Gentiles, man. You know, this place got to go, man. And as you see, it's falling apart. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start here first. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and I'm going to read the whole chapter, man. It's the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, and I'm going to read verse 1. And it reads, "Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying," right, "Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir," right, which goes back to who? Petra, man. Right, and what does Petra go back to? Esau, Edom. See that? These were the devils that were dwelling in caves, man. You know? Continuing on, "and prophesy against it." You see that? And that's what the hell we're here to do, man. Prophesy against this place. Not prophesy for it. You know, prophesy completely against it, man. You know, we want to see this place here fall apart. I do anyway. Every day I wake up, you know, I'm so damn tired of being this man's rulership. I gotta work. You know, my damn feet hurt and you know, all of that, man. You know, tired, man, working from hand to mouth. You know? Anyway, keep going. Verse 3, Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 3, and it reads, "And say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee, and will stretch out my hand against thee, and will make thee most desolate." You see that? And how is the Lord going to use this place here for this place here to be desolate, man? Right? The intense laser beams of the chariots, right? There's going to be a lot of people out there getting their asses zapped on the day of the Lord, man. Right? And also the ICBM missiles, man. You know? That's what's going to make this place here most desolate, man. And as you see, it's already falling apart, man. You know, a lot of people out there, Esau, Edom is great, completely turned into ashes and dust. You see? You think about, well, I ain't got no dust or nothing, but you know, when you think about dust and you blow it in, it's gonna be blown in the wind, man. This is what's going to happen to this man's rulership. You see? Anyway, Ezekiel chapter 35, and I'm going to read verse 4, and it reads, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. You see that? And when this place here is completely destroyed, this one Esau, Edom, right, is going to know, right, that the Lord was only dealing with who? The Israelites, man. The so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, man. You see? Continuing on, verse 5, and it reads, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. You see? By the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. You see that? And yeah, man. Right? Esau put his hands on the apple of the Lord's eye, man. Right? Think about it like this. Think about you having a prized possession, right? Something that you really cherish in the house. You know, and you got it set up, and you tell everybody, don't touch that, man. Right? Now imagine Esau coming in and putting his nasty ass hands all on it, man. Right? That's what the Lord, or that's what Esau did to the children of Israel, man. You see, he put his nasty ass hands on it, and on top of that, he went too far, man. He went way too far. So it's all right. The Lord great come out here and destroy this place. Right? Esau, Edom, right, is going in a hardcore captivity for 1,000 years. You don't believe me? Right? Read the scriptures. See? Matter of fact, let me go. You know what? I want to read this now. I'm going to read it. I'm going to go to the book of Obadiah, man. Right? The Spirit been on me heavy to want to read that book. You know? And you know what? Now's the perfect time to do it. Let me see here. Let's grab that real quick. I'm not going to keep this lesson long. Salakia. Let's go to the book of Obadiah. It's time, baby. Oh, it's time. Let's grab it. It's the book of Obadiah. Right, and I'm going to jump back. It's the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. Right, it was the book of Obadiah, verse 1. It reads, the vision of Obadiah. Right? Thus saith the Lord Yahweh concerning Edom. You see, there it is again. All right, so the Lord, right, is going to tell you how he feels about Edom, just like how I'm reading in the book of Ezekiel 35, man. All right? It reads, we have heard a rumor from the Lord. An ambassador sent among the heathen, arise, and let us rise up against her in battle. Behold, right, I have made thee small among the heathen. That's right. Now, you know, now these other heathen nations are looking down on Esau, Edom, man. Right, all you gotta do is look up breaking news, man. Right, a lot of these nations here are getting ready for war in these times to come. You see? Anyway, and it reads verse 3. It reads, the pride of thy heart have deceived thee, thou that dwellest in the cliffs. Right, going back to what? Mount Seir, man, Petra. You see? It says, the cliffs of the rocks, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down to the ground? That's right, man. This is the pride of this devil. You know, scriptures say that he's sitting in the temple of the Most High, thinking that he is the Most High, man. Right, but the Lord great to snatch that shit away from him, man. You see? As a matter of fact, I'm going to read Job 30 and 6. I know I'm all over the place. Salakia. Read the book of Job, chapter 30, and verse 6. Matter of fact, let's start at the top. Book of Job, chapter 30, verse 1. It reads, but now they that are younger than I have me in derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to set with the dogs of my flock. That's right. So Job ain't even want these devils around his dogs. You get it? Verse 2, and it reads, ye whereunto might the strength of thy hand profit me, in whom old age was perished. For want and famine they were solitary, fleeing into the wilderness, in former time desolate and waste, who cut up marrows by the bushes and juniper roots by their meat. They were driven forth from among men and cried after them as after a thief. So here's the point: to dwell in the cliffs. Come on, who is it? The caveman. All right? To dwell in the cliffs of the valley, in caves of the earth, and in the rocks. You see that going back to what? The book of Obadiah, man. You know, this devil here, he dwelt in caves. You see, it's why when you look around and shit, you know, cement and concrete and what do you call it, a tar and shit all over the place, man. You know, that's why I got to stand in the grass, because, you know, it's horrible what this devil has done. It's laid concrete everywhere. That's all right, because, you know, we're going to make this devil here, man, we're going to make him we're going to make him work in the kingdom, man. Right? Ain't going to be all that concrete and all that shit, man. All right, anyway, let's go back. It's the book of Obadiah, chapter Obadiah 1. It's like an Obadiah, and verse 4, and it reads, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest to the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith the Lord. You see that? And this devil here, you know, he pretty much lied, you know, to the damn world, you know, you know, and told everybody that he went to space, you know, and damn landed on the moon playing hopscotch and shit on the moon, you know, and all of that, man. And when you look at that footage, you can tell it's fake as hell, man. You know, they show where it looked like a cameraman, right, is on the moon watching the spacecraft being shot off. What about the man that was left on the moon? You know? You know, but you got a lot of our people who are so damn ignorant, you know, to this damn man's wicked ass man's leadership. You know, very, very foolish, man. Thinking that Esau went to space. This devil here can't pass the Van Allen belt. You know, and also, when did that happen? In the 1960s and shit? You know, if his technology is so great, why the hell he ain't been back since, man? Think about that, man. You know, this devil here pretty much took a damn bottle rocket, right, with a single V8 engine, and say that he went to space. You got to be kidding me, man. You know, so he's a liar. You see? Anyway, let's keep reading here. Obadiah, verse 5, and it reads, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they not have stolen until they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leaves, some grapes? And the answer is hell no, man. Esau takes everything, man. As a matter of fact, I want to back that up. I'm gonna go to Jeremiah 49 and 9. Matter of fact, 49. Yeah, 49 and 9. I'm gonna start there. Jeremiah 49 and 9. All right. Let's bring that up. Jeremiah chapter 49. And I'm going to start around verse 9. I'm trying to hold these pages here. Let's look at Jeremiah chapter 49. And I'm going to, you know what, I'll just start at verse 7. Right? And it reads, Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 7. It reads, concerning Edom. There it is again. See? Concerning Edom, thus saith the Lord of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished? Flee ye, turn back, dwell deep, O inhabitants of Dedan, for I will bring the calamity of Edom upon him, in the time will I visit him. You see that? So yeah, man, this is what's about to happen, man, period. You know, scripture's spot on. You see? It reads, verse 9, this point, if grape gatherers come to thee, would they not leave some gleaming grapes? If thieves by night, they will destroy till they have enough. But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. You see, and Esau is not able to hide himself. You know, it's been revealed who he is now, man. You know, it's not what did Jake, what did the old school Jake say that Esau is I think not Amalek, but Elam or something like. No, you know, Esau is the so-called white man, and no, he's not done away with. He's the one that's ruling today. When you look on your dollar bill, hello, right? Anyway, read it again. Jeremiah chapter 49, and I'm gonna read verse 10, and it reads, "But I have made Esau bare, I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbor, and he is not." You see that? So this is what's coming, right, to Esau, even so-called white man in the last days, period, man. You know, he's being made bare. We know everything about him now, man. And there's so much shit that we actually don't know that this devil has done. You see, so you see the Lord here is prophesying against Edom, not for him. You see? As a matter of fact, y'all want to read any more? Yeah, that's pretty much the point. So I'm gonna go back to Obadiah. It's a beautiful chapter here, man. Obadiah, verse 6, and it reads, "How are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? All the men of his confederacy," right, "have brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is none understanding in him." You see that? And when you go into this here, man, right, when you think about Esau, Edom, right, and also his money system, you know, this devil here, he laded himself with thick clay. You know, he's in a lot of debt, man, right? And also these other countries out here, they're in debt too. You see? Because of Esau. Verse 8, and it reads, Shall I not in that day, said the Lord, even destroy the wise men of Edom and understanding of Mount of Esau? And the mighty men, O Teman, shall be dismayed at the end of every one of the Mount of Esau may be cut off by slaughter. You see that? So this is what's coming. Esau is going to be cut off by slaughter. You see, there's not a damn thing, right, that nobody can do about it, man. You see, this is why we pray, right, to hurry up and get the hell out of here, man. We want the Lord to come back with them hopes, right, to be delivered, man. You see? I know I want to be delivered, and I hope and pray that you brothers and you sisters that run across the video, I hope that you want to be delivered too, man. You know, you do not want to catch, or you do not want to be beside this devil when his judgment comes. You see? Anyway, keep going. Obadiah. There's so many scriptures, man. Oh, my goodness. This is the book of Obadiah, right? Verse 10. And it reads, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob," right? Going back to what, man? Genesis, man. You can read that. Genesis chapter 27. You know? For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever. There is no salvation, right, for Esau, Edom. None at all. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care what Hebrew Israelite group out there tell you that salvation is for Esau. You know it's not, man. Right? It's for Jacob. Now, of course, you have, you know, Edom Israelites that may look like Esau, Edom, right? But it all goes back to their father's bloodline. Because scriptures say what? My people is like a speckled bird. Why is that? Because we were scattered abroad all over the four corners of the earth, man. You know, so this is why we don't go based off, you know, skin color. I don't anyway. I don't go based off skin color. You got a lot of guys out there, you know, black Hebrew Israelite. Let me tell you something about that shit, man. You know, a lot of guys that's holler about, you know, black only Hebrew Israelites. I'm darker than a lot of them, right? And a lot of them guys out there talk about black Hebrew Israelites. I believe their line goes back to Esau, Edom, through their fathers, man. You know, so no, it's not. Again, it's not about skin color, right? It's about the spirit, and also it's about the person's bloodline through their father. You see? So let's keep going here. All right, verse 11, Obadiah and 11, and it reads, "In the day that thou stoodest on the other side, in the day that the strangers carried away captives his forces, and foreigners entered into his gates, and cast lots upon Jerusalem,
even, right, even thou was as one of them. You see that? And you know, you can read that. You can read about that in the book of Psalm, man, chapter 83. It tells you, you know, the list, you see that, of people that came against, right, the children of Israel. Who's at the top of that? Esau. Matter of fact, I'll read it. All right, what's that? Psalm 83. Let's read that. Nothing deep, nothing long. You know, it's the book of Psalm, chapter 83. No, stop. Yeah, come on. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 83. Right, and I'm gonna keep. Yeah, I start at verse 1. It reads, "Keep not thou silent, O power. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies." Who's our enemy? Let's find out. "For thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head." You see that? "They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones." Who the hell is the hidden ones here? Just talking about the Israelites. Right? So Esau has taken crafty counsel, man, right, against the children of Israel, man. You see? Starting with Edom. Let's keep going. Right? Verse 4, and it reads, "They have said, Come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance." You see that? So yeah, man, this is what Esau did. Cut us off. You see, by slaughter, man. Right? In these times. You know, so this is why we have to pray and repent and seek the Lord in these times, man. Period. You see? And depart from this devil. Anyway, let's keep going here. Verse 5. Psalm chapter 83, verse 5, and it reads, "For they that have consulted together with one consent, they are confederate against thee." Right? And yeah, man, all you gotta do is think about Nadab. All right, let's keep going. Verse 6, "The tabernacles of Edom," right, and the Ishmaelites, right, which are the Arabs, of Moab, which is going back to who? Chinese, and the Hagarenes, right, we'll go back to who? I want to say the Arabs. All right, verse 7, Gebel, right, and Ammon. You see that going to who? The Japanese, man. And the Amalek, right, which goes back to who? Esau, right? The Philistines, right, going to who? Slakia. Damn page. Wind keep catching my page. Right, verse 7, it reads, "Gebel and Ammon and Amalek, the Philistines, with the inhabitants of Tyre," which goes into to who? Ham, man. Right, the Hamites. Anyway, verse 8, "Ashur also," right, which goes back to who? The Syrians, "also is joined with them. They have holpen the children of Lot." You see, do unto them as unto the Midianites, which goes back to who? The Arabs, as to the Sisera's, as to Jabin at the brook of Kidron. You see, so again, going back to the point, Esau is at the top of that list, man. You know, and also these other heathen nations that came against Israel. You see, that's the point, man. All right, so Esau's got a lot to pay for, you know, and also these other heathen nations, they will pay, you know, but not like how Esau's going to pay, man. Right, so let's go back here. Let's go back to the book of Obadiah. Obadiah, verse 12, it reads, "But thou shouldest not have looked on the day of thy brother, and the day that he became a stranger. Neither shouldest thou have rejoiced over the children of Judah in the day of their destruction." That's right, Esau did that, man. They rejoiced over the children of Israel, their downfall, man. Right, and they're still doing it to this very day. Right, continuing on, and it reads, "Neither shouldest thou have spoken proudly in the day of distress. Thou shouldest not have thou shouldest not have entered into the gates of my people in the day of their calamity. Thou shouldest not have looked on their affliction in the day of their calamity, nor have laid hands." You see that? Have laid hands on their substance in the day of their calamity. You see that? And when you think about When you read about the sacking, right, of Jerusalem, man, it was Esau that was behind that, man. You know, went in there and completely defiled the temple, man. You know, urinated all over the place, took gold, all of it, man. I want to even say that he brought brought pork there or a pig or something, you know. And she's like, I could be wrong on that, but yeah, man. Right? Esau was very proud to see the children of Israel in their downfall, man. You see that? And again, he's still proud. You know, all you gotta do is look at what the hell is going on right now with these ICE agents, man. You know, especially out there in Minnesota, man. Right? They're rounding Jake up, man. You know? And they're very proud and happy about it. Right? Verse 14 reads, neither shouldest thou have stood in the crossway to cut off those of his that did escape. Neither shouldest not thou have delivered up those of his that did remain in the days of distress. For the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen, not some of them, but all of them, man. Right? And we know that day of the Lord is near, man, or that day is near. You know, because you see this place here is collapsing day by day. Right? You got division among men, sedition among men. Again, this kingdom is completely divided, man. Right? And it reads, verse 15, for the day of the Lord is near upon all the heathen. As thou hast done, it shall be done unto thee. Thy reward shall return upon thy own head. That's right, man. So Esau, Edom, right, is going to pay for everything that he did to us, man. He's going to pay for it. You know, you got people like, hey, do we just forgive and forget? You got to love? Nah, hell no. You're going to pay for it, man. You know how many scriptures in here talk about vengeance, you know, against Esau, Edom? I just brought a few of them out. You know? Anyway, let's keep reading here. Obadiah, verse 16, it reads, for as they have drunken upon the holy mountain, right, so shall all the heathen drink continually. Yea, they shall drink, and they shall swallow down, and they shall be as though they have not been. That's right, Esau's going to pay, man. He's going to drink of that cup, right, the cup of judgment, man. He's going to pay for it, big time, you know. Verse 17, it reads, but upon Mount Zion, right, starting with who? The elect, right, children of Israel, shall be deliverance, and there shall be holiness. You see that? And the house of Jacob shall possess their possessions. This is what's coming, man. Right, we're going to take everything they took from us. You see, it's coming. It's all coming back. So you brothers and you sisters out there, just hold on, man. You know, just hold on and wait on the Lord and just sit back and watch the prophecies unfold. You see, because there's nothing that no one can do to stop the prophecies, man. Scriptures say, right, that the word of the Lord is not going to return to him void, man. You see, so all these prophecies are going to be fulfilled. And as you see, it's happening in front of everybody's face. Anyway, Obadiah 18, it reads, the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph a flame, and the house of Esau, right, for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord hath spoken it. What the hell does that mean? Right? It's not going to be anything remaining, right, of the house of Esau, man, especially after that 1,000 years of them serving, right, the children of Israel in hardcore captivity. Hardcore. You see? Not easy core, not kind of core, hardcore. You know? Anyway, let's read verse 19. And they of the south shall possess the mount of Esau, and they of the plain of Philistines, and they shall possess the fields of Ephraim, and the fields of Samaria, and Benjamin shall possess Galilee, and the captivity of his host of the children of Israel shall possess that in the Canaanites, even unto Zephareth, and the captivity of Jerusalem, which is the Shaphrad, shall possess the cities of the south. You see that? So Esau, right, his land is going to be divided, man. All his land here is going to be divided, man. right? And Israel, right, is going to rule over that land, period. You see? Let's keep going here. Verse 21, and it reads, and saviors shall come upon Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord's. You see that? So yeah, Esau is going to be at the bottom in the kingdom, man. Right? And you have the temple of King David at the top. You're going to have Yahweh, right? You're going to have Yahweh Shai. You're going to have the throne of David, right? And, you know, and going down to the elect and on down, man. You know, all the way going to the children of Israel. That's who's going to be delivered, man. Right? And these other heathen nations, right? They're going to be, we're going to have to teach them, right, the laws of the land, man. The laws of these scriptures. You see? But Esau, Edom, he ain't going to get none of that, man. He's a 2-time loser. And you could say a 3-time loser, man. You know? He's a loser, man. He lost in the beginning, right? Because the Lord won't deal with him anyway. You see that from the very beginning, right? His kingdom is coming to a close, right? So he lost there, right? And also in the kingdom of heaven, right? He's going to be hardcore slaves, right? And he's going to be destroyed. You see? So he's a 3-time loser, you know? So, you know, the point is, man, right? We got to prophesy against this devil and his rulership. You see, this is what's coming down the pipeline, man. Give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai for that. All right, so let's go back here. What was I? Ezekiel, all right, chapter 35. I'm going to read Ezekiel chapter 35. And where was I at? Ezekiel chapter 35. Now read verse 6. And it reads, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare unto them blood, and blood shall pursue thee, saith, thou hast not hated the blood, even blood shall pursue thee. You see, you can read about that in what? Isaiah chapter 26, man. You know, Esau loves blood. I want to say it was a movie, what's that movie? Gladiator. You know, and Esau pretty much told you, man, you know, nothing excites the crowd more than the sight of blood. You know, and Esau always have done that to the children of Israel, man. Shed blood. Shed the blood of the innocent. You know, shed the blood of the old and the young. He had no regards for the old or young. Scriptures talk about that too. Scriptures talk about how he also sold a boy for a harlot, man, right, and a girl for wine. You know, so he has a lot to pay for, man. Since he pursued blood, blood is going to pursue him. Anyway, verse 7, it reads, thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men, and thy hills, and in thy valleys, and in all thy rivers shalt they fall that are slain with sword. You see that? What's going to be the ultimate sword, man? Right? Yahweh Shai's army. Right? Talk about the angels of the Lord and also the ICBM missiles, man. This place here is ready to be desolate. It is. It's getting ready to be desolate, man. All right? Verse 10. Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 10 reads, because thou hast said, these two nations and these two countries, right? Talk about who? The northern and the southern tribe, right? Shall be mine, and we will possess it, whereas the Lord was there. You see that? And you know what? This devil here, he had this thing called what? Manifest destiny. You know, this is Esau's own thinking, man. Being carnal as shit. You know, but it's all good, though. It's all good. You know, because I'm going to tell you something, man. Right? When you think about somebody that's picking on somebody for the longest time, you know, you picking on them, keep picking on them, you know, because the person is small, right? When that person that's small finally kick the bully's ass, right? Who do people root for, man? Right? They root for the person, the small person kicking the bully's ass. They root for him, man. Right? And the bully deserves exactly what the hell he get. You know, Esau got this damn thing talking about some, you know, it's not cool to bully, but you do it every damn day. Bully the children of Israel. It's all right. Right? Because Yahweh Shai greater bring that damn, gonna gonna strike you with that mighty blow. You know? Anyway, Ezekiel chapter 35, and I'm gonna read verse 11. It reads, "Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh." You see that? Yes, the Lord lives. And there's nothing that Esau can do about that. All right, he can try to play God all he wants. "I will even do according to thine anger, and according to thine envy, which thou hast used out of thy hatred against them. And I will make myself known among them when I have judged thee." That's right. You see that? And guess what? The Lord is making himself known now, man. Right? So guess what? The judgment is coming. You know, and it's righteous judgment, man. You see? Let's keep going here. Verse 12. "And thou shalt know that I am the Lord, and that I have heard all thy blasphemies which thou hast spoken against the mountains of Israel, saying, They are laid desolate, they are given us to consume." You see that? This is how Esau look at it, man. You know, again, I gotta say it, man. The perfect example is what he's doing now. You know, got ICE agents and shit all out there rounding up Jake, man. You know, Esau think that the children of Israel is his. You know, he shackled us down, right? He put us on slave ships, right? You can read about that. What's that? Deuteronomy, right? Chapter 28, verse 68, man. This is what Esau did to us. There's another scripture I want to say, and also in the book of Ezekiel, where it talks about how we were tossed around like a ball, man. When you think about a ocean and you throw a ball out there, what happens, man? The ball is up and down, being tossed around. That's what happened to the children of Israel, man. Right? Under the hands of Esau. And man is going to pay for it. We're going to put them devils on slave ships. Right? I tell brothers all the time, you know, I used to tell them all the time, man. Right? I'm going to sell Esau. I'm not selling Esau, you know, I'm going to sell Esau in trash bags. You know? Like shit. Anyway, let's keep going here. Ezekiel chapter 35, and I'm going to read verse 13. It reads, "Thus, with your mouth ye have boasted against me." That's right. Esau's done that, man. Right? You think about Noah, what's his name? Noah Yuval Harari or something like that. You know, he told himself that he's God now. You know? It's all good. "And have multiplied your words against me. I have heard them," right? "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate." That's right, the whole earth is great to rejoice, man. Right? Why? Because the righteous will be ruling then. Matter of fact, I want to say I read that last time. Let's read it again. All right? It's my phone now, my other phone. Everybody's mourning right now because Esau is in rulership. The wicked beareth rule. Right? "When the wicked beareth rule," Proverbs 29:2, coming straight to the point. "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice." You see, let's read that again, right? In the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, right? Chapter 35, verse, let me see here. Where was I just at? Oh, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 35, verse 14. It reads, "Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, when the whole earth rejoiceth, I will make thee desolate." You see that? So yeah, man. Right now, no one's rejoicing. Read it again. Proverbs 29:2. "When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn." You see that? And again, I must say it, who the hell is ruling now? You don't have to think about that, man. You know, it's very simple. We already know who the hell is ruling, right? And he's ruling in wickedness. See? Let's keep going. Think about all the animals and shit, man, that beach themselves. You know, that's constantly beaching themselves. You got coral reefs and shit that are dying. Beautiful, beautiful plants, man. Dying and shit. He spilled all kinds of oil and all of that shit into the ocean. You know, when you go to a regular river now, the water looks green and brown. You know, back when the Indians were here, right, or the tribe of Gad was here, right, it was so beautiful here, man. All the water was clear, it was plants and shit, fruit all over the place. Fish in the damn rivers about this damn big, man. You know? But again, when you look at everything, it's all in a state of dying, man. Right? There's one brother, he said that there's like the topsoil, like this shit that we standing on is so bad, right, that it's hard for things to grow, man. Right? Because Esau did that. You know, the air quality is trash. You know, the people's minds are trash. You know, the food is trash. Everything is trash because this devil here, he's in rulership. You know, the earth is tired of this devil. The earth is supposed to have a Sabbath. You know? But Esau every day, 24/7, man, there's something going on where he's digging into the earth, drilling into it, getting oil, all of that, man. You know, this devil here gotta go. He gotta go. You know? Anyway, Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 15, it reads, "As thou didst rejoice at the inheritance of the house of Israel, because it was desolate, so will I do unto thee. Thou shalt be desolate, O Mount Seir, and all Idumea, even all of it, and they shall know that I am the Lord." So this is Esau's punishment here, man. It's coming, man. Right? So this is why, you know, the children of Israel, right, need to repent, man, and seek the Lord. And again, depart from this devil. You know, now, of course, you know, we have to, you know, use the world, but don't abuse it, man. You know, get your money and get the hell out of the way, man. You know, now me personally, you know, I work around a bunch of Edomites. You know, I know how to move around them. You know, you got to put the mask on. You know, but when I'm away from them, I can't stand them, man. Can't stand them. You know, they stink. They're gross. You know, the old men, you know, they're just horrible in the mind. You know, and when you look at Esau, he can't fight, man. You know, not being carnal, but the devil's weak, man. He's weak, so he has to use carnal means, right, to come against Jake, man. You know, but it's all right because the Lord ain't gonna be carnal. You know, he's gonna completely destroy this devil and his rulership, right, in 1 hour. Matter of fact, let's grab that. Let's go there. This is what's coming to Esau's rulership, man. All right, since I brought that out, let's go to Revelation chapter 18, one of my favorites. All of them are really my favorite. All right, this is the book of Revelation, chapter 18. All right, and I'm going to start at verse 1. And it reads, "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory." Who is that talking about? Think about it. Verse 2, "And he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen. It is fallen, and become the habitations of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird." See, this place here, Babylon, is known, right? It's known for its confusion, man. The land of confusion, Babel. You know, it's a whole lot of confusion. I watched another video yesterday. Well, I forgot what. Matter of fact, the brother Arrows of Indignation, right, uploaded a video, and this Edomite asked this heathen lady, you know, what did he ask her? He asked her, can men get pregnant? Right? And the answer to that is what? No. But man, the video went on for like 5 minutes, her trying to, you know, and this woman here is supposed to be a doctor, man. You know, supposed to be a doctor, you know, studying under Esau's, you know, his what do you call it? His medical shit. You know? Showing you that, man, you can't trust this devil for nothing, man. You know, you got everybody confused. You got men that want to be women, women that want to be men. You got people out there getting sex changes and shit. You know, it's going to tell you what, he that is wounded in the stones, right, or cut his privy member off, right, shall be cast out, man. You know, and this is what Esau promotes. All the wickedness that goes on right here in America, man, Esau is behind it. You see that? He doesn't do anything good. well, brother, he does, he don't do shit for you. You know, he gave me food stamps and he gave me a job. Man, hell no, man. But I was talking to somebody yesterday, man. And I was talking to him. And I told him, I was like, because Jake feel like that he's free now because he can, get a job. He's not in the plantation no more. Right? Now, Esau just became smart. He saw that it was more beneficial, right, to make Jake work out here, right, than to just hang him in trees. When you think about cows, right, and when you think about cows, right, people got livestock out there so they can make money. You see that from the livestock, meat, the milk, all of that, man. So Esau figured out that it's more prosperous to keep the livestock alive because it makes more money. And if the cows and shit get out of line, Esau just put them in a damn jail or in a penitentiary somewhere, right? Guess what? They're still making money, right, off the prisoners, man. There used to be a thing called, something to prison to pipeline to prison thing. I forgot exactly what it's called, but Esau is the one that's behind all this shit. Think about all the shit that's going. Esau is behind it, man. Anyway, let's keep reading here. Right? Revelation chapter 18, verse Revelation chapter 18, verse 3, and it reads, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kingdoms of the earth have committed fornication with her," right? "And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." You said, so these other heathen nations, right, also got rich, based off the hard work of Jake out there, man. You see, they've drunken, they sipped of that wine, man, that Esau has spread out, man. Right? It's why when you go to places like China, and wherever, India, Africa, you got McDonald's and shit there. Right? And where did McDonald's hail from? It hailed from America. You see? So now Esau has spread his GMO food all over the planet. Hence, this is why you see these people out here losing their damn minds, man. Alright? Let's keep going here. Revelation chapter 18, verse 14. "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." You see that? Because this place here is going to be plagued, man. It's already being plagued. It's already being plagued, man. But their ultimate plague, right, is when the Lord nuked this bitch. And it's coming. It's coming. More and more talks about it. Jake can act like America can't be destroyed. Yeah, okay. Not what the hell I'm reading right here. America's going to be destroyed. Right? And we're going to find out how long it's going to take for this place here to get destroyed. And when it says come out of her, my people, that's not talking about buying no. I see a lot of people out there talking about buying plane tickets and shit, and going to another part of the world. No, you're still going to be judged. There's nothing that nobody can do about it, man. All right? What it means by come out of her, it means come out of her spiritually, man. All right? Don't be a partaker of this devil, man. You hear the ambulance and shit, right? When you hear the ambulance, you know that it's an emergency. That somebody's hurt. That it could possibly be the end of somebody's life. Right? This is the sound that we're sounding out there for our people, man. That judgment is coming to Esau, Edom in these times. And you gotta come out of her, man. All right? Or you're going to find yourself being rushed somewhere, man, in the back of an ambulance. Not physically, but, physically, but I'm talking about spiritually, man. Anyway, let's keep going. Revelation chapter 18, verse 5. And it reads, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High have remembered her iniquities." That's right, man. This place here, right? The Lord has not forgot about the wicked shit that Esau, Edom has done, man. You see? Anyway, let's keep going here. Right? Revelation chapter 18, verse 6, and it reads, "Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. in the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. Man, oh man, oh man. Esau, you got a lot to pay for, man. All right, all the shit that you've done, you're gonna pay for that double. Woo-woo. They might call it my phone, is it? It's locked it. Let's keep going here. Revelation chapter 18. I'm gonna read verse 7. It reads, how much she have glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. That's a goddamn lie. Right? Esau gonna see some sorrow. Period. You know? And you know, these Edomites, they love to fake cry and all that bullshit. The Lord ain't gonna be trying to hear none of that shit, on his day, on his special day, when he returns and cracks the sky. And all you Israelites out there talking about some damn, the Lord ain't coming to crack no sky, right? The Lord created to come and put his foot in the crack of your ass. That's why scripture say, every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. What does that mean? Anyway, Revelation chapter 18, verse 8, and it reads, therefore shall her plagues come in one day. What day is that talking about? I just mentioned it, man. Death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord our power who judgeth her. That's right, man. Right? This place is going to be burned by fire. Right? All this shit that you see out here, this building right here is going to be destroyed by fire. Trees and shit that you see out here is going to be destroyed by fire. All this ground and the light poles and the buildings and, all it's going to be destroyed by fire. See? Let's keep going here. Verse 9. The kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her when they, right, shall see the smoke of her burning. That's right. So these heathens, they will be crying, chow chow, ba ooh oh, nalaya, nalaya. Once they look over here and see this place burning, man, because they're no longer going to get the riches. You see? Revelation chapter 18, verse 10. And it reads, stand afar off of the fear of her torment, saying, at last, that day, it's like that great city Babylon, which is talking about who? America. That mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. You see that? So this is going to take the Lord 1 hour to destroy this place, according to this book here, man. Right? And again, how is that going to happen? Right? With the intense laser beams and the chariots, and also the intercontinental ballistic missiles, nuclear missiles, man. You see? And people act like it ain't coming, but it's coming. Let's keep going here. Revelation chapter 18, verse 11. And it reads, verse 11. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and moan over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. The merchandise of gold and of silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manners of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ornaments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves, right, and souls of men, and the fruits of thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty, right, and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. You see that? So yeah, man. All right, all these merchant ships bringing shit in, goods in and goods out, all that's gonna be done away with, man. Esau is no longer gonna collect, any of this shit, gold, none of that, man. Right? Because all that's gonna stop. Right? When the Lord pull up, that's it. That's it. It's a wrap, man. Guys out there say, in the world, it's a wrap. It's a wrap when Yahweh Shai come. You see? Revelation chapter 18, verse, let's keep going here. Verse 15, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off of the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing and saying, at last, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, right? For in 1 hour, so great riches has come to naught, and every shipmaster and all the company of ships and sailors, and as many as trade by sea, stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of a burning, saying, what city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, at last, for that day is great, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness. For in 1 hour is she made desolate. That's right, man. Right? It's going to take the Lord 1 hour to destroy this place. You know, so this is why it's very important. Right now, it takes a lot of Jake out there more than an hour to get dressed. You know? Get dressed or whatever the case is, man. Right? Guess what? It's going to take the Lord 1 hour to destroy this place. See? Verse 20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and on ye holy apostles and prophets, for the Most High have avenged you on her. That's right, man. Right? So the prophets, right, and also the apostles, man, right, they're going to rejoice in the day of the Lord. You see? And the mighty angel took up a stone, like a great millstone, which is Yahweh Shai, right, and also going to what them ICBM missiles, and cast it into the sea, saying, thus with violence shalt thou great city Babylon be thrown down, and shall not be found no more at all. What does that mean? I'll have to break that down. And the voice of the harpers and musicians and the pipers and trumpets shall be heard no more at all in thee, and no craftsman, and whatsoever crafts he be, shall be found any more in thee, and the sound of the millstone shall be heard no more at all in thee. That's right, all this shit, all of it's gonna stop. You know, the music and the hustle and bustle of this place is gonna stop. Why? Because there's nothing going to be here but fire, right? And also animals. You see? Verse 23, Revelation chapter 18, verse 23. And the light of the candle shall shine no more at all in thee. And when you think about a light of a candle, right? Like when you think about the Statue of Liberty, right? You got a lot of people that look up to this place because they think it's the light of the earth. It's not going to be found no more at all. It's not going to be found or looked at as the light of the earth. You see, this place here, it's going to be the light of the earth, all right? Right? It's going to be known as that lake of fire. That's the only thing that's going to bring light to this place. And guess what? You do not want to be here when it happens. Let's keep going. Continuing on. And the voice of the bridegroom and the bride shall be heard no more at all in thee. Ain't going to be no more marriages. For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by the sorceries were all nations deceived. That's right, man. These damn heathen nations have all been deceived. They're still being deceived. That's why you got bricks. You know, the bricks and all of that. You know, pretty much departing from Esau, Edom, because they know what's going on. You know. Anyway, verse 24. And in her was found the blood of the prophets and of the saints, and all that were slain upon the earth. That's right, man. All right, Esau killed a lot of the prophets out there, man. Right, because there is a thing called reincarnation, man. You know, this devil here, again, he has a lot to pay for in these times to come. You see that, and we see the day approaching, man. Right, and because we see the day approaching that Esau's judgment is right around the corner. Right, this is why it behooves you so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, man, right, to repent and to seek your power, man, in these times. You know, because again, there's nothing, nobody can save this devil. All right, I just read it out of the book. You know, so you know, I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up right here, man. You know, I hope and pray that this lesson here, this camp lesson, was edifying to someone. You know. This devil here, he's going down by the head fast, man. You know, I worked on a lot of ships, you know, and I've seen some sink, you know, and I'm going to tell you something. The water comes in real slow at first. And when it comes in slow, right, it starts to sink starts to go down by the head, but more and more water. If you look at the movie Titanic, the ship sank real slow at first, but as more and more water rushed in, it went down faster and faster and faster, and then you had the whole ass of the ship sticking out of the air, you know, and then it broke in half, and then it went down, man, right? And that's the spirit, right? America is that Titanic, man, right? It's sinking faster and faster, and guess what? It's splitting down the middle, right? And guess what? What happened after that? It sank. You see? So this place here is pretty much finished. You know, all we can do is just sit back, right, and just continue to cleave on the names of Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai and do everything that we can, right, in these last times, right, because we almost out of here, in these last times, right, to seek our power, man, with the hopes to be delivered. You see? So I'm going to go ahead and close it up right here. Again, I hope you brothers and sisters out there were edified through this camp lesson. I'm going to face the east again, right, and give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah HaKodash. Next, double honors to the apostles, the elders, and bishops of Great Millstone that rule well and have taught me this truth. Peace and salutations unto the hopeful elect. Until the next time I say, Shalom. Hey, Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom.